Thank you so much for joining us for Midweek. I am thrilled to be the one getting to share some updates from our DR trip over spring break. And I have to start by just thanking all of you. All the amounts of prayer, the support leading up to was incredible. Our whole team felt incredibly blessed as we took 57 of us to the Dominican Republic. And now that we're back, it's been so fun to hear the stories. Not only what happened in the DR, the way students were impacted, the construction we got to do, the VBS, sports outreach, the evangelism team that just went out and tried to have conversations. But now even too, the things that God is continuing to do in our students' lives and our families' lives, it's incredibly encouraging. And you guys have played a key role in that, in sending us, supporting us, praying for us. Even the journey home, getting stuck in New York. I'm sure you've all heard about that. We had a team, 45 of us in Newark for an extra 24 hours. We had a team in New York stuck for a few extra days. But our students were incredible. Just their attitudes, their willingness just to let God be in control was incredible. And so I'm going to have a few of our students share with you personally what they're taking away from our time in the DR. And I want to invite you, come join us April 25th. It's a Tuesday. We're going to have our normal Thrive youth group night, but we're going to kind of invite you, our families, all our supporters to hear more of our stories. You're going to hear a few right now, but we want the opportunity for everyone to hear and see the incredible ripple effects that this trip is having. And so please come join us. It's going to be a great time. But with that, let's hear from some students.
Hi, my name is Addie. I went to the Dominican Republic this year with Thrive, and I don't know any Spanish, and so I was really nervous on how I'd be able to connect with people, ultimately share the gospel with people. And I helped with the VBS team, and the first day was really hard because I felt like I couldn't connect with the kids. But by the second day, I felt like God was like, yeah, you can connect without using your words. And it just was a really cool experience for me. And now I'm looking into doing missions full time.
My name is Alex Gilbert. I'm a junior here at Thrive. And one of the biggest things that I took away from the DR trip was seeing a bunch of my friends and like their spiritual growth throughout the trip. Like they changed like visibly as people. And it was just really cool seeing some of my friends just grow because of the DR.
Hi, my name's Ava. On the trip, our flight out of Santo Domingo was delayed, and we ended up missing our connecting flight from New Jersey home and having to stay the night in New Jersey and take a flight home the next day. And it was a pretty crazy experience. None of us were that happy about it, but when I was on the plane, I really felt God telling me to talk to this girl that I saw coming down the aisle. Turns out she sat right next to me. I was able to talk to her. She was Muslim, and so we were able to talk about Christianity and what she believed versus what Christians believe, and it was really cool to be able to share that with her. Normally that would be really outside of my comfort zone, but I really felt that God spoke through me, and I was praying that He would just help me with that whole conversation. But it was really cool to see good come out of an otherwise bad experience.
Hi, my name is Maddie. The biggest thing that stood out to me was the day after Foundation Day. I had woken up and just felt very spiritually and physically drained and gone. And we got up, did devotions, and it was really good, and I could feel God working through that, and then had breakfast, and then they actually allowed us to go back to bed for a couple hours. And before I went back to sleep, I was just talking to God and just kind of like telling Him why do I feel like this? And this is something He brought to me that really stood out to me, and I want to share it with you guys. Something I'm learning is that it takes time to become who God wants us to be. Just like a tree takes time to bear fruit. A hazelnut tree takes at least 5 years before it can be harvested, and then another 10 to 15 before it is considered mature. I'm a hazelnut farmer, so it really stuck with me. Our faith and spiritual maturity take time and dedication to grow. That analogy was a really good reminder to me that I need to be patient and gracious with myself, as well as continuing to do the things that water and fertilize my faith.
My name is Benton. I'm a senior here at Thrive. One of the things that I learned on the DR trip, it happened on one of the last days when we were giving the key giving ceremony to the pastor after we completed the chapel. And the pastor at the very end of his speech said, "Inside this tiny chapel is the living God." And that just really stuck out to me. I think I've always kind of been a skeptic of short-term missions trips. I've always kind of thought, what good can just a couple high schoolers do in a week? But the pastor really just kind of reminded me that it's not a couple high schoolers doing the work, it's God doing the work. And even though we were flying out in the next couple days, God is there and was always there and will always be there.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm a senior here at Thrive. This is my third time that I've been given the opportunity to go on this missions trip to the Dominican Republic with SFB, and I was super excited. But I was kind of cautious to go with Thrive just because I've been a little bit absent from the youth group the last couple years. And going on this trip, I felt kind of a calling to get reconnected and just an overwhelming piece of it's okay, just go on the trip. When we got there, I was a little bit anxious, obviously, going out of the country without my parents and things along those lines. But when we got there, I felt just an overwhelming kind of presence of God, and just through the people I was reconnecting with from church and the people I was meeting at the work sites, at Foundation, the kids and the adults and everything, and just all these wonderful conversations I got to have with people about God and sharing the gospel with people. I felt like I reconnected a lot, not only with my peers and everybody that I got to travel with, but also with God, and just kind of hearing Him speak through people to me and getting to do so much work, good for the community there, but also to better build His kingdom in the future, which was super exciting as always.
For me, a lot of you guys know I have been in full-time ministry as a missionary for the last 28 years, and this is the first time I've ever been on a short-term missions trip with a church. And for me, it was amazing how much God did in a week with our students and what we were able to accomplish in the Dominican Republic in serving the local community and serving time ministry. So highly, I recommend it for anybody who wants to do a missions trip. Is start short term and see what God does.
Hello, my name is Jeremiah Pausch. I'm a senior here in Thrive, and the most meaningful part of the trip for me was seeing how all the little friend groups that are normally hanging out together in Thrive kind of broke apart and started interacting with other people that maybe they don't normally talk to. So that really had impact on me, is seeing that we are united here in Thrive.
I'm Batir, and the thing I probably most liked about the trip was just, in general, just being able to experience other culture, and especially being able to do sports ministry and just connect through them with basketball.
Hi there, my name is Anesu, and I took a lot of stuff away from this trip. So many things, I can't name them all in this video, but I think two things I took away were, one, just how grateful I need to be about my life and how content I can be with my life. Seeing the people in the DR who have like nothing compared to me, it just really is eye-opening to see like how happy and content they are with everything they have, and how I need to be more like that in my life. Another thing I took away from the trip, I took away from the whole travel fiasco, which I'm sure you've all heard about. I think I really learned that the plan that God has is His entirely, it is not mine, and it is important to remember that He has it in His hands, and I don't have to worry about that because He will always provide.
Hello, my name is JC. I took quite a lot away from this trip. It was really powerful for me, and I learned a lot. But I would say seeing the relationships that we were able to make with our fellow youth group people was really powerful, because at youth group we have all of our cliques and groups that we're in, but in the DR we just had a chance to break apart from that and make new friends. And another thing for me was just getting to see the missionaries there. They are so passionate for Christ and so inspiring, and it just makes me long to be like that.
Wow, that was amazing. If you don't have a giant smile on your face right now and just your heart is filled, just ready to worship, you need to go back and watch that one more time, because even in the DR, we sat in a huge circle and we spent almost an hour just hearing story after story. So again, come back and join us on that Tuesday night in April to hear more detail on what happened and some of the details, see more pictures from the trip. And I do want to thank my team. I want to thank all the adults that came on the trip. Each of them played such an important role. The help that I got at the airport when we were stuck, just their heart to have conversations and encourage students all week long, even when they were tired. And I also want to thank my wife. And if you see my wife, thank Jessica, because as my first time leading, I've learned so much. And I'm just so thankful for her and her support, not just the week of, but man, the months leading up to it and all the extra time that I poured into this trip and this team. Thank you all for watching. Come join us this weekend to worship. We look forward to seeing you. Bless you. And thanks again for all your support.